minutes for the August 4th meeting, just FYI.
Right, because
Okay.
he hasn't shared them yet.
No,
So
Okay.
we can't approve the minutes. We can table that item and push it off to the next.
we'll have to
Until
do
the
that.
next meeting. Yeah, we can do that on November the 3rd. All
Okay.
right, the streaming has started.
Okay, I'm going to call to order the special meeting of the Joint Development Authority. It is September 22nd at 5:38. And we will begin our meeting with the approval of the agenda. I will share my screen. Which one it is? Those are the minutes from a previous meeting. Stop. Yes. All right, I'm gonna open that one up then. Okay, and I'll come back and share again. This will be correct now. There we go. All right, make that go away. There it goes. Okay, so here is the agenda for this meeting.
A motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Second, Don.
Okay. All in favor? Make a motion or say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Motion passes. The agenda is approved. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the last meeting's minutes from August 4th. We don't have the minutes, so I will make a motion to table the approval until the November 3rd regular scheduled meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. That brings us to the next item on the agenda, which is new business, to review, discuss, and vote on the selection of an auditing firm for our annual audit. Do we have a list of potential auditors, Ilka?
Yeah.
Yeah, we shared the list and the proposals from the 3 auditors that was attached to the calendar invite. So there were 3 auditors. We actually contacted about 7, I think, 7 auditors, but we received proposals from 3. The 3 firms were Bates Carter, Malden and Jenkins, and Rushton and Company. So let me see, Stephanie, if you have it in front of you. If not, I'll pull up the spreadsheet just so we can kind of show them the comparison between the
Yeah, I'll
3
share it.
firms.
Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
So yeah, these are the 3 that we got estimates from. And yeah, we sent it all out to y'all a few days ago. So if y'all have questions, we can answer them. But my recommendation as treasurer is Rushton and Company because they were very responsive, answered all of our questions, asked the right questions. Have a fairly large firm. They're the cheapest price. They've been in business for 40 years, and this is a ranking here. This federal audits completed. They've only completed 11 federal audits. It's not really relevant to us, but it shows that they do federal level work. So they're obviously a good enough company that the federal government uses them.
Okay, and their main responsibility is just to go over our books and make sure that we have.
And we're meeting the legal requirements of a development authority, finance management.
Okay.
I'm good with that recommendation as well.
Was that was
This
Dodd?
is Ken.
I think that was that Ken or Dodd?
Doug.
That was
Doug.
Doug. No,
I'm
this
good.
is Ken. This is Ken. I know Ruskin. I was the treasurer for the Athens Development Authority for a number of years, and so I worked with the company. So I don't have anything against the company, but I'm just in principle. I believe that the contractors that we use for this board should be based in Athens. And I'm not sure how the list of 7 was created or how y'all reached out to people, but I'm opposed to not having a vendor from Athens. I think if we didn't get the right responses from the ones that were contacted, we should reach out to more accounting firms in Athens. This is a very simple audit, and I think there's plenty of service providers in Athens that could take care of the work. And I think we ought to keep the business for this kind of thing, for this sort of board in our community.
I think that'd be great. And if you know an auditing firm that's in Athens and have a contact and could help us with these contacts, 1, 2, 4, 5 of them came from the ACCGov finance department. They were folks that they recommended that we reach out, but we're glad to reach out to an Athens firm if that's what you would like to do. Right now, it's very difficult to find an auditor. They're super busy. So, but if you have a contact name and a firm name, we'd love to reach out to them and ask if they'd be willing to submit a proposal.
Well, how did the process, I wasn't aware of the process to like get a list of firms together. Was there an RFP that went out? How did y'all do that?
So the way that we're doing it is that we were doing asking for quotes and then evaluating the proposals and the quotes that we received. So minimum of 3 quotes, that's what finance suggested that we do. And so we ended up, that's why we contacted so many different accountants, was trying to find one that was able to assist. And then we asked them for the proposals with, firm profile, what other kinds of audits they've done, and a pricing point for us.
We did
But
contact Trinity Accounting.
Was an RFP generated or an RFQ?
No, it was the quote method, which is what ACCGov Finance suggested that we do.
But when you say quote, how did you quantify for the firms that were going to bid what the work would entail?
We called the firms up and first sent them an email with some basic information, and then had a call with each of the 3 firms that decided that they would submit a proposal.
Okay. Well, yeah, no, I would propose that we not select one today. I think we should go back to just get a list of local firms together and send it out to a broader list of local firms.
Are you volunteering to do that, Ken?
Well, Lynn, let me think about it. How does the board work? So boards that I've served on in the past, they always have somebody that sort of is the staff for the board, and that staff person would come to the board and they would, get information from them. So I'm glad to submit some names. If you're asking if I'm going to like Google every accounting firm in Athens, I wouldn't think that was a board member's role. But if that's what we need to do, then I'll see if I can't do that.
We've spent a significant amount of time doing this, and Ilka has done a lot of work on it. We did that exact thing. And Trinity Accounting.
Where's the list? So are you saying if you Google Athens, Georgia accounting firms, only 7 firms come up and 5 of those are out of the...
So here's the thing, Ken. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. So I'll be glad to explain the process. So, every CPA firm is not an auditing firm. So what we did was we did some Googling, and then we also asked finance who are some firms in the area that do accounting and that you would suggest that we reach out to for quotes that do governmental type audits. And
no,
so
I
that's
understand. I appreciate that, but I understand. I've done government contracts and government.
I think it'd be great if you have some suggestions. I think it would be wonderful if you could share the firm names, and I'll be glad to reach out to them and ask if they would like to submit a proposal.
Okay, but my question was, did I miss an email? Did somebody reach out to the board and say, we need to select an accounting firm? Does anybody know of anyone? If you do, please send those in, and then we're going to reach out to accounting firms and get bids.
No, the way that we did it initially was Stephanie and I talked about the process. I reached out to our finance team, and I said, what is the process for requesting quotes or getting pricing for the annual audit that we need to do for the JDA? Because we're somewhat connected to ACCGov, but not directly. We're a separate authority. So I asked them for their advice and what they would recommend. And then I did what they recommended, and Stephanie and I worked together. We did some Googling to see if there were local firms that do governmental audits and have experience in this type of audit. And that's how we ended up contacting Trinity Accounting, but they did not respond to us.
So I just did a quick Google search while we were having this discussion, and yeah, Trinity is the only one that lists this kind of thing as, here I can share the page if you want to see it. It's really.
Well, I can't see. I'm on phone right now. Sorry.
Oh, right. So it's Slim Pickens, it was Trinity, and then even people that I know that are accountants, they don't list this as one of their services in their menu of services. So, yeah, I mean, I have friends in town that are accountants that I'd love to throw them the business, but it's not something that they do. It's a specialized, it's a specialized service.
No, I understand that there's some specialization to it, but this is also a very simple audit. I think there's a lot of accounting firms in Athens-Clarke County that probably would be able to do this. And again, I just think we ought to try to, I think as a community development authority, we should keep our business at home.
Agreed, and when we can. But here's the thing, Ken, is that we are dealing with taxpayer money, and we have an extra special fiduciary responsibility to the taxpayers of this county to show that we have dealt with their money in the manner in which we were charged to deal with it. And we need to have a company that specializes in this particular type of accounting to show that we have done everything that we needed to do and that we are meeting our legal and financial and moral obligations to the city. I would love to keep the business in town, but there doesn't seem to be a company in town that's interested in doing this business with us. They reached out to one company.
I don't know that. I mean, it doesn't sound like we cast a broad enough net. That's all I'm saying.
You're assuming that we didn't do our homework, and we did. And we're up against a timeline because we're required to submit audited financials to another authority to review our stuff. And we don't have 6 weeks to go back through this again.
When's the timeline, and why are we just hearing about that right now?
Because it was something we talked about last year and you weren't on the board, and this is.
Well, I think we had it at the last board meeting and we mentioned it, but Ken was not with us at the last board meeting when we said we were about to undergo the audit process and trying to identify an auditor and get some quotes.
Ilka, this is Dodd. Is the audit due at the end of September?
Well, so generally you do an audit after your first year in business, so to speak. And so we're a little bit past that. So there's some reporting that we need to do with the State Department of Community Affairs. And you need an audit in order to be able to do that. And last fall, we weren't able to complete that information because we hadn't been in business for a year. And so this year that's coming up and we need to get that completed. So there is some time pressure to it. You know, it's been more than a year that we have been in business and handling funds. So that piece is important to have an annual audit done.
Yeah, well, I wanted to add that the city, we're having a time getting our audits done. We just got our 2019 audit done. Mm-hmm. And ours is due at the end of September through DCA and the state. And we're hearing that a lot of cities around the area are having trouble. So I think someone said it on the call, a lot of these auditors are super busy right now. Ours is trying to get ours done by the end of this month. So factor that in too.
I'd like to motion that we approve Rushton Company and move on.
I'll second that. Todd.
Okay, so did he just hang up?
I think he did.
So that means we can't take a vote.
That's why he did it.
Touché.
Where is Tim or David?
I don't know. I'm telling you, our audit has been giving me, it's been a bear. We just got our 2019 and we're about to get our 2020 done in the nick of time, but all these people are super busy. So that's probably what I'm assuming that's why we didn't get a lot of responses back, and it's specialized. So factor all that in. And I've heard great things about Rushton and, you know, because we've had to kind of put word out too. So heard great things about them.
I'm so
Dodd, Dodd, could you please call David and see if he might be able to log in right now, if he has a chance, or if anyone has Tim's cell phone, do you possibly have it?
David's not answering.
Okay.
I have Tim's number. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and set our next meeting date for tomorrow. And let's get these guys
We have to do 24-hour notice though, so the next
Okay.
day.
Friday. No.
Let
Friday.
me try to text. Can we just give it about a few minutes and let me try to
Yeah,
text
just give it a
David
few
and-
minutes. That'd be great.
I'm sorry, Donna.
Tim,
I
can you
cut you off.
please call
I'm fine with
the
Rushton
meeting?
too.
Can you just phone in?
Yes.
That's really.
Tim's
I
gonna
can
phone in. We need to get something done.
Okay.
Okay, bye. He was
All right, I just
driving.
Tim is?
Yeah, Tim said he's gonna try to call in.
Okay.
We'll just have to
I just texted
represent.
David. Well, we've got a motion and a second. All we need is, I mean, we don't have to update them, do we? Well, I mean,
Well,
we
we
do,
do, or they're not voting with knowledge.
I would like
Yeah.
to know what he's voting on and to be able to ask questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know that, but we don't have to go through the whole
No,
thing.
the whole
This
meeting.
whole
yeah.
thing we did.
No.
Can we take a pause? Ilka, let's pause the meeting, please, and stop the feed.
Yeah.
I
let me do that.
motion
Let
that
me-
we pause the meeting.
Yeah, let me figure out how to do that for a minute. I think I can stop.
So we're ready to resume our discussion. We had a motion on the table. We'll go back and recap a bit.
Okay, thanks, Erica, and thanks, Tim. I'm sorry that you had to join us late, but it's too late.
No problem. My
we
pleasure to be here.
Thank you. We were presenting the 7 firms that we reached out to for quotes. One of them was in Athens, Georgia. The rest of them were not in Athens, but they have Athens people that work in Athens. The only Athens firm that we could find that does government auditing was Trinity Accounting. There may be others and they're just not well indexed in Google, but we couldn't find them. And the ACC Finance Department didn't recommend anyone from Athens. So I don't know if there are others, but they recommended several others and we reached out to all of them and we got 3 quotes from 3 companies. The other 4 either can't do audits like government audits or did not respond. The Athens firm did not respond. The 3 quotes we got ranged anywhere from $13,000 to $20,000. And my recommendation is Rushton and Company because they asked a lot of questions. They gave us a lot of information. They responded immediately, like the same day that we sent them the request for quote. They have 40 years of experience. They're a pretty large firm. They're bigger than the other 2 that gave us a quote, and they were the cheapest. And I feel like they have good experience doing government auditing, and they're rated very high. Malden and Jenkins is also a great firm, but Athens-Clarke County uses them for their auditing. So I would feel more comfortable using a company that's not already used by Athens-Clarke County, and that's why I recommend Rushton. Bates Carter took 24 days to reply. And she sent us a cover letter that was actually for another city, just wasn't well responded. My recommendation.
So
Go ahead.
I was going to say, from an ethical standpoint, I think it's actually probably better it'd be someone not in-house like the other one that works with Clarke County, because I think,
Right.
that kind of keeps it a little cleaner also. So I think that's great.
Yeah. So the motion on the floor was that I motion that we approve Rushton and Company at $13,000 for our audit for the 2020 to 2021 fiscal year.
And I seconded Don.
So we have a motion by Stephanie, a second by Dodd. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and put it to a vote. All in favor of,
Aye.
thank you.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the motion carries and we will ask Rushton to do our audit.
So Ilka, you'll reach out to them about next steps.
Yes. The other thing that I need to do too, though, is ask some questions regarding the streaming of this meeting. I just want to make sure that everything we're doing is correct. So I'll do that after this meeting as well.
Okay. Great.
All right.
Okay, so the next item on our agenda is to announce our next meeting, which will take place November 3rd, 2021 at 5:30 p.m. I am guessing it's going to be via teleconference again, most likely.
Yes. Yeah, so
I'll be
that'll be
sure
November the
after-
3rd.
I'm going to make sure after this meeting to get the notes up. I apologize. I don't know how I missed out on this one, but if I could also make sure I get on the WebEx call next time, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I think you were on there. I don't know why you didn't get it.
Oh, weird. Okay, well, maybe I deleted something. You never know. So, okay.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Okay.
So, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
I move.
All in favor?
Second.
Bye.
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
motion in a second, and we are adjourned. Thank you all very much for your time and talent. Thank you.
Have a good evening.